In HR, we kind of saw him as he was a guy who his choices were stolen from him, and he spent the whole game trying to find out why so he could regain choices. And in the end, he made a choice for the entire world. And now 2 years later, he's seeing that the world is not as simple as coming down to a single choice, and that there are still powerful forces out there who can destroy your messages with disinformation. So he does feel a little bit at the start like he failed, he tried to save the world, and look what's happened to it. It seems to have gotten worse. And so I would say that in this game, he's kind of looking for, initially, he knows who the bad guys were, who did this to the world, and he's initially looking to basically become empowered again. And we always talk about how in HR, he never asked for it, and in this one, he's got to learn to embrace what he has become. But in order to know what that is, he's going to have to determine what it is first. Well, the way that we handled that sort of a challenge of telling story all the time in the background, in the environments, is a multifaceted kind of way. We always believe that the environment needs to tell. We like a lot of show don't tell. But to actually work on scripting all that, one of the first things we do is we define what our themes are in the game and how we want to approach them. So one of the themes in this one is about segregation, and it is about the racism and the paranoia that can come up from this divide in society. So you can say that, and you can kind of throw that at writers, throw that at animators, throw that at all your team and say, okay, we need things that are going to represent that kind of a theme. What are the different things that can come up? And a lot of time it's a collaborative effort. A lot of times it's, you know, the scripted event people coming up with the ideas, the writers coming up with ideas, and then you just kind of stage it through the environment as you go. In Deus Ex, it really was, you know, what does it mean to be human? Why do we do the things we do? That was the controlling theme. You can take the transhumanism, it's a very big theme, and you can break it into smaller parts. With HR, it was exactly that. It's why do we do the things we do? With Mankind Divided, we're still looking at what does it mean to be human in a society in which there's such a big divide now between the mechanically augmented and the so-called naturals. For this game, the story kind of came forward because we were dealing with such a big event that had happened, and what is the repercussion on the world because of that event. So looking at transhumanism through the lens of the chaos that has evolved around an event was kind of how we went. And with Deus Ex, one of the things that we always try and do is we try to show the world in black and white, not in black and white, sorry, in shades of gray. And we try to do it in a way that never judges, so that we allow you to play the game and come out and make your own judgments as a result of just showing you the world as we see it. There are many enemies within the game that you can see. In Mankind Divided, there does seem to be a lot of police presence, and really, you touched upon something, I forgot to touch on this, you touched on something about the idea, one of the things that we're looking at here is the idea of a terrorist or a freedom fighter. Which side of the equation do you see it on? So are the police always the enemy? That's dependent on the viewpoint that you're taking in it. Maybe the police are the enemy in the game. Maybe the AUG revolutionaries, the freedom fighters, are the enemy. So it gets to be a very complex issue. Not in the sense that you're going to actually pick a side. It's more from the standpoint of we're showing you both sides so that in the end, when you make a call, you can determine, based on your experience through the game, what is it that matters the most to you.